Bonjour à tous, j'espère que vous allez super bien aujourd'hui. So, for your online lesson today, we are going to talk about infinitives and verb conjugation. You can find this in your TL campus. We're going to look at the page and then look at the exercise that you need to complete for this. So, first things first are infinitives. Okay? So, when we talk about infinitives, it is a verb expresses an action or state of being. The basic form is called an infinitive. These exist in English, and it consists of two words. So, a verb with the word to before it, to help, to swim, to like, etc. The infinitive form is found in the end vocabulary of the textbook. Many French infinitives end in er, such as présenter, aider, nager, aimer, manger, jouer, and plonger. So they all end in that er. So when we look, a verb like plonger, we can tell that it's an infinitive by the er on the end. Right? That makes it an infinitive. And we know that when you conjugate, that goes away and you're left with the stem. Okay. So when we look here, we can identify infinitives in this when you look at your page, like absorber, être, couper, passer, etc. Those are all infinitives. Now, when we talk about infinitives, we also talk about conjugation. We've touched on this before, but now the book page is published in TO Campus. The present tense of regular verbs ending in ER is what we're talking about. So we already know that when you conjugate, there are 6 forms. To form the present tense of a regular ER verb, you drop the ER ending from its infinitive and find the stem. And that's what's happening here. And so your endings are, so that's our stem for that verb, E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, E, and T. So these are what are tacked on to the end here, okay? Whatever it might be. And then they go with a subject pronoun. Now, when you're conjugating a verb like manger, all right, so if we do our T chart like we know, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Okay, so those are subject pronouns. I want to find the stem, so I remove the ER, and I'm left with my stem. And so I can put that for each one. On say déjà. Now, the reason I'm using this verb here is because there's something specific. So when you have a verb that has GER on the end of it, there's something specific you have to do here. So I'm going to put a star next to that. Now, if we look here, it's regular. So we just go E, ES, E. I eat, you eat, he or she eats. When we get to nous, right, I cannot leave it like this because there's a G here. It changes the pronunciation. This would say nous mangeons. We don't want to say mangeons. We want to say mangeons. So in French, you have to retain the E, then add ONS. That is only for verbs that end in GER. So manger, plonger, nager, etc. And then it goes back to being regular. EZ, ENT. You only have to do it for the new form, and it's only for GER verbs. A verb like jouer, right, in the new form, you don't have to do that. There's no G there. Okay? So you have your stems, your endings, and then we give some examples here. You're going to be working on exercise 17. Okay? So it wants you to say what everybody is doing. So it's all vocab that we know. So we have some pasta, we have a swimming pool, we have a basketball, we have a diving board, we have a hockey stick, we have a soccer ball, and we have a pizza. So 1 and 7 are going to be about eating, right? So manger, to eat. Okay, so you use that one for 2 of them. Now, let's do number 1 together. So, if I look here, we have Juliette is our subject, so Juliette. That's the first thing, right? So you write whatever name they give you first. Now you have to do your verbs. So when you do your verb, because we're going to use eat to eat because it's pasta, I have to take my verb, which is manger, remove the ER, and find my stem. So I take off the ER, and then my ending for Juliette, because it's she, il, elle, would be E, right? And then I would just add des pâtes. So that's number 1. Juliette is eating pasta. Juliette mange des pâtes. Comme ça. Facile. So then you look at this one, they might be swimming. They might be playing basketball. So all of those verbs are ones that you have on your vocab list. So you start with the name or subject. So in this case, it's tu, vous, nous, Félix and Alexis, Madame Bayal, Rosalie et Sania. When you have 2 people, like Félix and Alix, Rosalie et Sania, what you have to do, that is going to conjugate like they, right? So these are your singular ones, these are your plural. If it's 2 people, you use they, right? Yeah? So this is the verb form you would use with, for example, number 5 and number 7, but it won't necessarily be manger, it'll be whatever verb, right? Yeah? So give it a go, and we will see how it goes, and there are 7 of them, and I've done number 1 for you. Merci.